This is Sean Woodell with Marlboro County School District. Today I'm going to show you what to do when a student finishes their Imagine Math content for their grade level. First thing you're going to do is sign into your Imagine Math account. You want to go to Reports and Student Progress, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a look at the report for that particular student to see how well they did on their current grade level content. And you're going to see all the schools under my account, but yours will only have your classrooms. And I'm going to choose Miss Craddock's class because that's where the student is, that there are some questions. I'm going to click on the student that I want to look at, and I'm going to click on the content. And if you see here, she completed the South Carolina 4 pathway. So I want to take a look at that. So when I click on that, if you scroll down, you don't really need to worry about all this. What I want to see is her lessons. How did she do on the lessons? And if you click here, there's a show legend. It shows you what each of these symbols mean in the legend so that you can kind of get an idea of what they're trying to tell you down here. All right, so what I'm seeing so far is 4th grade. She passed the lessons, check marks, so she did good. Now, right here, she had a little difficulty. She didn't pass this 4th grade lesson on the multiplying 2-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. So they pushed in a 3rd grade lesson. She passed it. They took her back to a 4th grade lesson, and she passed it. So we're not really going to worry about that because she was able to get the content. Same thing happened here. They pushed in a lesson. She was able to get the content on her grade level, so the program moved her forward. Same thing. And if you notice, excuse me, all the other ones have checks. So she did really, really well on the 4th grade content. So therefore, she does not need to repeat anything for 4th grade content. We're going to be able to move her to the 5th grade content. And the reason we want to do that is because we really want to challenge her. We want to meet her needs and meet her right where she is. And we want to expose her to the 5th grade content, which will prepare her for next year and even prepare her to do a better job on the MAP test and the benchmark test. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go up here to users and we're going to go to students. Okay. I'm going to search for her name over here. I'm just going to type in Campbell and click search. I'm going to scroll down until I see the student. Now you will only see your students, so that's going to make it a lot easier. When you see the student's name, you're going to click on the class. Okay. Now, right here it says that there's no pathway assigned, and the reason there's not a pathway assigned is because she completed her pathway. So we want to fix that. So what we're going to do is going to put a check mark beside her name, and then we're going to click Assign Pathway. Okay. Now, we want 5th grade because she's completed the 4th grade, so we're going to click 5th grade, and then we're doing the South Carolina pathway, so we're going to click South Carolina, and we're going to click Search. We're going to scroll down. Now, these are the different standards, but we want the entire pathway for 5th grade. So South Carolina 5 pathway. We're going to click on it, and then we're going to click Enroll. Okay. And it tells you up here that it will be enrolled. It's not going to show immediately, but that she will be enrolled in the pathway. So when she logs back in, it's going to actually move her to a 5th grade pathway. Now, let's say, for instance, that we take a look at a student that didn't do too well. I'm going to go to a demo class and choose a demo student and a pathway that was completed, 3rd grade pathway. When I scroll down here and look, I'm seeing here that this student had a little bit of trouble with this skill, okay, for 3rd grade level. But then the student passed it, the same level, so that's okay. This student was able to bump down to the next grade level and then passed it on the current grade level. Now, right here is where I see there was some difficulty. What this means when they do the triangle, if you look up here under your legend, it means that they moved it to the end because the student failed it twice. So, using visual models to understand the distributive property, And if I scroll down, I'll be able to see that the student down here on the end was able to pass it at the end. So that's fine. But if you notice, this student had a lot of difficulty. There are a lot of different skills as I scroll through that I'm seeing. This one here actually had to bump the student from 3rd grade to 1st grade, then to 1st grade, then back up to 3rd grade. This one here moved it to the end because the student didn't do well. This one, the student was able to pass it. Same thing here. Here, the student failed the 3rd grade, failed the 2nd grade, passed the 2nd grade, then passed the 3rd grade. So it's kind of telling me the student really, by looking at this, the student had a lot of challenges throughout this curriculum. So what I want to do is I want to create a customized pathway so that this student can go back over some of these skills that they had difficulty with. Now, what you can do is you can print this, which is what I've done, or you can write down the skills that the student had difficulties with. That's kind of up to you. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to customize a pathway for that student. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Manage Pathways, Content Manage Pathways. I want to do a custom pathway. You're going to create a new pathway. And I'll show you. And you just name it, put the grade level. I chose this one, use benchmark remediation, use pathway remediation. I didn't want them to skip the problem solving content. Allow test out. That means that the student can do the pre-quiz and test out of it. And then require a pre-quiz. And I don't want to require, I'm going to allow the student to test out. And then you're going to click Save. So I'm just going to put Demo, 3rd grade, Save. Now, when I go back over here to the, this is the pathway. Now what I can do is I can start adding skills. So as I look through how the student did, I can see the student had trouble with using place value concepts to compare whole numbers. So I'm going to scroll down. They're in alphabetical order. So using place value concepts to compare whole numbers. And I don't see that one. Let's see. Let me go back up and make sure. Using place value, reasoning about place value. Okay, reasoning about place value. All right, reasoning about place value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. And if you notice, it added this over here to this student's pathway. I'm going to go down to another one, reasoning about addition, subtraction. Reasoning about addition, subtraction. I'm going to click Add. And I'm not going to continue to add them, but you will continue to add all the ones that student needs on here on the right side. When you're done, you will click Save. Okay. Then you're going to go back to that student's account, Manage Pathways. Actually, I'm sorry, you're going to go over here to Users, Students. I'm going to find this student. Oops. Okay. I'm going to go here to the class. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to click Assign Pathway. Now, I'm going to look for 3rd grade pathways customized over here. I want customized. So, and actually you can search by grade level, but there's the demo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Demo, Enroll. And what it did is it just enrolled her in the pathway that she needed. So I was able, and it's not going to show up immediately, but it's going to enroll her in the pathway. So when she logs in again, it will actually take her to the pathway I created for her. Okay, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions,